of my job in New York and travelling to Ghana, where I worked for an NGO that was trying to deal with sexual slavery of young girls in the community, and I worked with the Ghanaian police force on the prosecution of child rapists. Harrowing work, but defining work, changing here, changing me. When I came back to New Zealand at the, I guess in around 2010, the first time, what had driven that change was my adoption at that point of 2 little babies. I've been doing a lot of work with children who are in need of somewhere to go. So I arrived back home with 2 American children. I now have 4. The third one's also American and the 4th one is Indian. Those children and our experience as a whānau in New Zealand has really shaped a lot of what I've chosen to do here. Because when I arrived home, one of the things that really struck me, it happens a little bit, and for those of you in the room who have spent time offshore, and those of you who will, we can sometimes from a distance get a bit of a utopic view of New Zealand. I was dealing with these issues in New York and working with women and children who had suffered an awful lot, and I kept thinking, well, that wouldn't happen in New Zealand. I wouldn't see that at home. That's not an issue for us. And when I came home, I saw what was in the media, and I saw our statistics around 1 in 3 women being subject to violence in this country, 1 in 4 to sexual violence. The death statistics of children under 3 in our homes through non-accidental means. I was horrified. But I also believed that it was incumbent on us as a community to do something about that. That was our problem, not theirs. It was my problem. It wasn't for the government to solve. It wasn't for an agency. It wasn't for anyone else. It was for me to do something, anything. And one of the starting points for that was the Mothers Project, which has now been running in Auckland Women's Prison for several years and has now started at Arahata in Wellington. And off the back of that, we have helped, using volunteer lawyers from around the country, over 100 mothers. Unfortunately, the fastest growing population of prisoners in New Zealand is women. Many of them are mothers currently, and they will be going forward. So anything we can do to help, I think, has the potential to be helpful. But in addition to that, I was quite struck by the opportunity, perhaps in some of our disadvantaged communities, to work with kids and to get people from professional organisations, law firms, accounting firms, engineers, corporates, into decile 1 or other low decile schools once a week, helping kids with their homework and just interacting with them. And I don't know the extent to which that has helped the kids in those schools. That will be for their teachers and whānau to opine on. But I know it has helped the volunteers. I know back here with me and with others it has made a difference. It means that when there were a lot of floods in Porirua last year, for the first time people in my office who largely look like me were identifying with people in the depths of Cannons Creek who don't look like me, who are offering to go out there and help, to invite them into their homes, to do things that I don't think would have happened otherwise. And it was simply because of that human connection, that interaction. So that's a little bit about me. I want to move into the education piece now because I think that the one thing that has enabled me to have those sorts of experiences, and I'd like to think there are lots more to come as well, has been education. Education is power. Being educated is powerful. I would not be here talking to you had I not been educated through university and then able to get certain jobs and have certain experiences. I wouldn't be here. My voice would be in my home, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is an important place for it to be. But it can be powerful elsewhere too, and encouraging people to do different things. I have seen with my own eyes girls who have no right or ability to be educated. I have worked with them in camps in Kenya and Ghana, and I have seen the absolute hopelessness when there is no destiny for you beyond the age of puberty than being a man's wife, and not his only one. I have seen what happens to women who do not have the opportunity to understand what is happening to them because they don't have the education to appreciate it, to comprehend it. I have seen those dead eyes in prisons in here and in the US. We should not have them in our country. Education is available for all of us. Some of us will find it easier than others. I get that, absolutely. And some of us will want to stay longer at it than others. But it's available. Grab it and take it as a privilege, because when you see places where women and girls cannot get it, are denied it, then until you have that, you don't realise it is a privilege. It is a privilege to sit here in a school uniform and know that on Monday a teacher will turn up and teach you because they want you to be educated. Education is power. Being educated is powerful. It is why Boko Haram kidnapped girls in Africa. It is why girls have been shot in the head and tried to be attempted murders have taken place, because they are demanding education. That is done because groups that seek to oppress women know that education is the way out. Education is power. Being educated is powerful. So stick at it. Stick at it. Right? That's the short story. Okay, I want all of the young women in this school to stand up now. You have to do something with me. Stand up.
I'm young. Yeah, we're all young.
Okay, now.
Look at Nin.
I want you to look around this room and find your whānau or friends here. Okay, now those people in this room, they are the shoulders that you are standing on. They are the ones who are going to support you through this ongoing journey of education. They are the ones who will catch you when you stumble. So thank them right now with a big round of applause. Now, look around at each other, those of you who are standing. These are the women who will be your friends for life. They are, whether you like it or not, they're going to be in your business all your life. They will support you, they will guide you, not always in the right direction, but you can figure that out together. But they will be with you. And they will keep you standing even when other people are telling you to sit down. Those women will do that. And I want to say to you, as I look around this room and I see these young women standing, I see the future of Aotearoa in this room right now. I see the future teachers and judges and doctors and scientists and engineers and innovators and business owners and workers in this room. And if any of you standing don't believe you can be any of those things, the woman beside you and across from you and behind you needs to remind you that you can be all of those things. Because of what you will do, but also because of who you are. It may seem unlikely now, but you will be the mothers of the next generation of this country. You will be the partners and wives of the men in this country who frankly need a bit of help, ladies. I want to tell you today that there will be times in your lives going forward when people will want you to sit down, or where it will be easy to sit down because you will be the only woman standing in the room. I have had plenty of those experiences. Where you will be the only Māori woman standing in the room, where you will be the only diverse woman in the room. And you must stand up. You must stay standing, because if you sit down, then you affect no change. You must stand up when people want you to sit, because if you stay standing, then you are encouraging all the women around you. You are encouraging the woman that will become part of your families going forward. You will be creating the future of this country in a way that we around you, all of us who are sitting, I pretend I'm sitting for a minute, we need you to be powerful leaders, to be more than you realise that you can be, because that is the hope for this country. That is the change for this country. So keep standing. Keep standing. I'm going to sit down.
I have never before had the privilege of listening to something quite so inspiring for our girls, and I've also never been able to see the faces of our girls before when they listen to a guest speaker, and it's written all over your faces, girls, and of all the things that the staff have attempted to teach you or educate you about this year, I think it's all been encapsulated in what you've just heard, and thank you so much, Stacey.